friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher, and I may have taken a little detour on my son's field trip Friday today, and we took a little field trip to Sephora. I mean, there are a lot of learning opportunities at Sephora, wouldn't you agree? Anyway, we're going to talk about what I picked up today. Everything came from Huda Beauty, her new Ube line, if I say that right, Ube. We'll talk about what is Ube in a minute. If you are not familiar, I had to look it up. But basically, it's everything purple. All of her lilac. She's come out with the setting powder, the faux filler in the lips, like a lip gloss, and her blush filter, all in the same shade of purple. We're going to test it all out. We're going to play with it. We're going to see if it is controversial or not, if it turns out being chalky and pasty and not able to work on anybody's skin like the controversial YSL lavender blush, or if I think it will work for everyone. I'm also going to use this kind of as a teaching method because I'm going to tell you, I am a freelance makeup artist and I do not work on any clients or go anywhere without purple in my kit. It is essential. It is so needed. So I'm so excited she came out with this because this is exactly what I've been needing, is purple setting powder that works on everyone. So we'll talk about all of that, why it is so helpful, and why I think it's helpful for just about everybody, honestly. It's brightening, but it also is really good at color correcting, especially for mature skin. So anyway, if you are interested in hearing about this line and watching me try it out and explaining all of the beauty education behind it, then stick around and we will dive right on into it. All right, guys, so first up, let's show it all to you. This is the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder, similar to her other ones. I absolutely love her other Easy Bake, honestly, her whole Easy Bake line. I love the foundation, I love the primer, I love her setting powders, everything. And I will go ahead and tell you that Huda Beauty is probably up there as like either my top brand or one of the top brands, and she's cruelty-free as well. I have not tried one single thing from her that I don't like, I'll be honest. So she is definitely a brand staying with me in 2025. A lot of items in my pro makeup kit are from Huda Beauty. And I love Kayali also. A lot of the Kayalis that I own, like everything is wonderful. Anyway, here is what it looks like, and what we are getting in this one is called the Ube birthday cake. What is Ube, first of all? So all of these shades that are coming in this purple are what she's calling Ube. Ube is like a potato, like those purple potatoes. Have you ever seen one? They're like yams, and they have like a purple color and not your normal like white or like sweet potatoes that are usually more like peach orange, you know. So they have a purple color. So that's actually what it's referencing, is the purple potatoes. And you pronounce it Ube instead of like oob. So I did have to look that up. I did a Google pronunciation to try to find out how do we pronounce it. Okay. And so it is a loose powder. So this is your setting powder. It has, I think this is one of her newer packaging. She reformulated like her packaging where I think it's supposed to be easier to get these out. So now I'm actually confused on how we get it out. Excuse me, I do have a cold right now, so my voice sounds a little more manly almost. I don't mean for it to, but yeah, I have kind of a scratchy throat. Sorry, guys. So this is just plastic, and you have to find that little guy right there to pull up on it and open it up. So here it is, brand new and fresh, very purple, right? Okay, so I have on some makeup, but like my base makeup was already fading anyway because I did my makeup like early this morning and we've been out in the elements. It was raining on me, you name it. And so honestly, a lot of my base makeup in here is not on anyway. So I'm just going to kind of reapply some, and we're going to test out the powder and share what it's really good for, how to use it, all of that. So as I start doing my makeup for you guys and demonstrating this, I want to kind of share why purple is so essential in my makeup kit. Basically going to talk about color theory, color correcting. I've chatted about it a few times on the channel too. If this is very elementary for you, I think I'll probably put timestamps in my caption and you can skip to ahead to just the review. But we're going to talk a little bit about what purple does. So with color correcting, you have your color theory. If you're wanting to cancel something unwanted off of your face. Okay, so for example, if I have red acne, it's like covered in red acne, what I would do is I would come in with the opposite color on the color wheel, which is green. And I would use green to cover over those spots of red. It helps cancel it out. Then I'm going to follow up with my foundation or a regular concealer. That is what you do, is you find the color opposite of the color you're trying to conceal on the color wheel. Another example is dark eye bags. So our eye bags under our eyes tend to be like blue or purple a lot of times. So the opposite of that is going to be a peach color. Sometimes, depending on your particular eye bags and your skin tone, some may go deeper, like orange, or maybe down more in the yellow range. But in general, that's why we're applying those types of colors, is because it's opposite on the color wheel from like blue and purple. What is purple good for then? The opposite on the color wheel of purple is yellow. So think about what problems on the skin tend to be yellow. Well, it tends to be sometimes like very just dull skin that has that yellowy, I don't want to say washed out, but like just like dull skin types, skin tones maybe, that just you want brightening. Or hyperpigmentation. Age spots. Enter my age spots, guys. Okay, and so this is why I say it's fantastic, especially for mature skin. This tends to be where I really use my purple the most, is on my mature skin clients. As a makeup artist, I tend to have more clients closer to my age than like younger in their 20s. And it's probably just because my clientele and word of mouth, you know how it goes. Like, because I'm 46. And so I tend to somehow attract 40-year-old clients and 50-year-old clients. And, so I tend to use my purple powders a lot because we all got these spots. So when you think about it, like what color are my age spots? They actually come off as kind of brown. So, you have a little wiggle room there. It doesn't necessarily have to always be like purple, but, really the opposite would be, I think, blue. But you don't see a lot of correctors that are blue. There's very few blue color correctors out there on the market. e.l.f. has one that's blue, but I don't like e.l.f.'s color correctors. Sorry, guys. I've tested them out before, and I was very excited. And I love e.l.f. They are my favorite drugstore brand, but I don't love their color correctors. I think they don't cover a lot. So I tend to use purple a lot of times for age spots, and hyperpigmentation and just general like yellowy, tallowy skin is the best way to describe it. So I'm going to show you how I'd use it. I first come in with the purple corrector from LA Girl. LA Girl is honestly one of my favorite color correcting brands besides Huda Beauty. If you want a very affordable alternative from Huda Beauty, LA Girl's where it's at. They are cruelty-free. I think they're vegan too. I may have that wrong, but I am pretty sure they are vegan. But I know they're cruelty-free. And one of the few that does a purple one. So how I would do this with my clients. Now I have a little acne spot that popped up today right on my nose, so I would probably put more green on that. But keep in mind that your foundations, CC creams especially, like tend to have color correcting built into them too. So it's not always like a totally needed step. You could probably cover things sometimes just with your foundation alone. But if you need that extra help, it's still peeping through, this is what will help you. So what I would do is I would come in with my color corrector. I would pop some on my little pan. I mean, if it's just you and you're not doing clients, you can go straight in for it. But I would basically come on in here with like a concealer brush or something and pop that onto my spots and kind of, I want to dab it in, but I'm going to leave it there for a minute so that it really covers. The longer that you leave it on, the more it's going to kind of dry a little bit and cover more, but it's going to be harder to blend. Okay. So here's some of my problem spots immediately. But also think about, look how brightening that is from the start. Okay. This purple, especially in this like lavender color, it has this brightening effect. So you're kind of doing two things. And it's like, even if you don't have spots you're trying to cover, if you use this under your eyes in the place where we used to always use just our regular highlight for brightening, it's going to really brighten this area so much. Sometimes I will actually come in with a setting spray at this point. Go ahead and set that, or a fixing spray to lock that in even more. Then let it dry for a moment, and now I'm going to come in and kind of blend it if I can, just a little bit. I don't blend it like all the way into the skin, just enough so it's starting to morph into my skin, but I want to keep that coverage as much as possible, or that balancing out, you know. I am going to go ahead and put my foundation on then. Today, guys, I'm going to use my dark foundation from Dior. I'm not a fan of this foundation. I figured out because I took it with me to Costa Rica and ended up just not using it because I was like, I hate it. I hate it. When I really started trying to use it for travel, it does not blend. It was patchy. I don't love it. I don't know why everybody else loves it so much, but I'm going to use it. And the reason is because I got too dark of a shade for me, but I want to test if this will work on deeper skin tones. And I know I'm not going to really be able to test that truly because I don't have a deep skin tone, but we're going to go a little darker with my foundation to see how the purple's going to go on that. That's the best way I can test out how inclusive this purple is. But so I would kind of put my foundation on top of that. Now I would not be using this on my clients. It would be some of the luminous or matte foundations that I have in my kit, but this is what we're doing for me. I would blend that. So I did my color correcting first, and then laid my foundation down. So do you see how much darker this makes me? This is not the right color match for me. So that was one of the first problems, honestly, but I'm going to do it on purpose just so we can like see, like, because it's more on like the warm tone, and then you're putting this kind of cool lavender tone on top of it. And, you know, it seems like it's not going to mix well. So I'm trying to go as like warm tone on my skin as possible to emulate that, even though it's fake. I would come in with color correcting right under the eyes. Now, it kind of depends on the color of your eye bags, on what you put there. I don't normally put purple under my eye bags because I have purple eye bags. So not really the right color to cover them, but some people's eye bags might end up being a little more like yellow. I don't know. So it's kind of all about like, try to look at what you're covering and ask yourself, what color is it I need to cancel out? Because it might be customized more to your particular situation. So in most of my clients, though, I'm going to use something like this. This is her Huda Beauty Faux Filler Corrector. It is like the best, I think. And I'm going to put that on my little mixing palette as well. And I'm just going to come in here and we're going to cover only a few little dots where my purple is the worst. Bluey purple. That's kind of more blue under there. Honestly, I might dab it in. This is my favorite brush, guys, for under the eyes. I've talked about it before. It's the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy collab brush A506. So good for right under the eyes. This is just like the best blending brush, and especially mature skin where you don't want it all cakey and crazy under the eyes. So good. All right, so I blended that. Then I'm going to come back over that with my regular concealer. Actually, what I do is I tend to put the peach more in the spots right here because that's where the most blue shows up. And then I kind of use my concealer more out here to kind of line and all that. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit like down the nose though. That's crooked. A little bit there for like brightening. But I intentionally chose my concealer today to be a little more warm tone for a reason. And this one is the Tarte Shape Tape Medium Sand. So it's not quite the right color for me, but it's like close enough, and we can make it kind of be a yellowy, it's like skin tone. And then that way we can really test out the purple on top of the yellow and see how that does. Because for someone with deeper skin, maybe, you are probably going to be using, a lot of times, not always, you might have more of like a red or like a pink skin tone, even with deeper skin. But a lot of folks are going to be almost using, like their concealer might look more yellow, you know what I mean? And so in that case, the purple is going to be the perfect way to counteract that. Really, really, really brighten it. So wherever I have put down my concealer, we always set that. Normally, at this point, I have a choice. I could put down the Huda Beauty also. I love this one. Her Peach Pie. So this is a peach setting powder. You could kind of like keep putting that under and reinforce the peach corrector that we did, reinforce it again with the setting powder you're using and make it peach. That's like not only setting that concealer, but also reinforcing the color correcting of the blue eye bags. Or I could just go with translucent and not worry about it, which is just kind of the most universal probably. A lot of folks, especially more fair skin, tend to like the more pink ones, and these are more brightening, and her Cherry Blossom is more brightening, so they're like brightening setting powders, but it's not always necessarily canceling out blue and purple as much when you use the pink. That's going to be more of your like a brighter whatever. But in this case now we have purple. So we are going to use purple this time to see if I can kind of neutralize the almost yellow concealer I just put down. I know I'm doing a lot of different things in one, so I'm not properly teaching you exactly what I do step by step. I'm kind of partly experimenting and teaching at the same time, so I hope this makes sense. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat a little bit out onto my little mixing palette here. And we're going to see how it looks. Now, you'll see a lot of creators out there using a powder puff to apply this part. I think first of all, it looks cooler and like more dramatic. I caution you on using a powder puff if you have mature skin. Powder puffs are going to really mattify your powder, okay? Yes, we want to mattify this area and set it, but if you have really mature skin where everything cakes and really shows off all the fine lines and wrinkles and settles into them, you don't want to be baking too much and really like mattifying that in. If you don't have mature skin and you really want to mattify, then by all means use a powder puff and this will be great. I am going to use this brush too instead. I usually either use a beauty blender or a brush like this, or both to kind of like balance it out. And I'm just going to first go in with a little dab of that purple. Ooh, wow. Can you tell the difference between this side and this one? I poured a bunch more out. I'm going to kind of like swipe it a lot more. So what's interesting is I almost feel like it made me look more orange. Like I feel like I look more warm tone over here now. Isn't that weird when it was a cool tone? Okay, I am going to try out the powder puff now just to like get a bunch on and show us how it shows up. Okay. Ooh wee. There we go. All right, so now we're looking at the difference between this side and this one. Also keep in mind that TV, okay, when you're doing makeup for TV, if you're going to be on camera, Setting your makeup is really important because TV will make you look so much shinier. So everything is always going to look better and more refined with a lot of powder for TV. So just keep in mind that like I'm going to look different in real life than what you guys are seeing on the camera. But anyway, I feel like this just makes me look pink. Right? And I think part of it is just that I put on the foundation that's not my shade. I don't think it worked quite well to do that. I should have just stuck with my skin tone foundation to show you guys, but because I have seen some deeper color skin, and I think like Huda Beauty really appeals a lot to more the brown, they say brown skin, like Indian, like Middle Eastern skin tones and whatnot. And so I'm telling you, like that purple really pops on their skin and looks so beautiful. I think it's also a preference thing too, because I have seen a few people that didn't like it. They're like, no, I just don't like mixing like cool colors with warmer colors. So sometimes it does come down to preference, but so I think what I'm going to do to test this out and kind of show you the difference, I'm going to go ahead and like do my bronze and stuff, and then we'll see how each side looks as a difference. So let me pop on some like bronze real quick and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is where we come in and we try out the blush. So I did a little contour, and what side are you liking better so far? I really love this side. I did contour over here too, but can you see this difference? It really is making a big like contrast. Now I do still see my age spots showing through. These are my worst though, right here. This is my spots that they are tough to cover. But overall, I have a brighter look to the face there. So here is another one in the Ube line, is her blush, liquid blush. I'm so excited about these. So blush filter, I am going to, this is for my personal use, so I'm just going to pop it right on. I don't care. And we are going to just see how this looks. It's very light, isn't it? I'm going to take a clean brush to blend. Pretty, but it is not showing up really well on me. And I have to wonder if it will on deeper skin. It might pop more on deeper skin, honestly. All right, there's a difference between both sides. Let's test out the controversial YSL Lavender Blush on the other side. Here is YSL Make Me Blush, and this is in the shade, well, it's 69, but it's the lavender one. And if you don't know about the controversy, it's basically YSL claimed that this was going to be universal for everyone, and folks with deeper skin tones started testing it and were like, no, this just looks chalky and ridiculous. And I think it was the fact that they tried to claim that, and it was not the case. It's definitely much lighter than this one, but let's blend it in and see. Yeah, big difference. Now, it kind of works for my skin, but it's almost too light for me too. Like this really works on somebody super pale, very light. You barely pick it up on me. And this one's turning like pink, I think. Like it does show up. Let's put a little bit more on because I did apply a lot to this side. Really beautiful, but this one's bleeding through more. I feel like the YSL, honestly, I like the YSL better than the Huda as far as the blend and the feel. It is so like serum-like over here and glowing. And I think that's what it is that I love, like glowing blushes for my aging skin. And this one's more kind of baking into the skin more, I think. So, but as far as the color goes, this one's definitely so chalky and like almost white. And this one is truly turning like a pink. So it's the color itself that has controversy. And so I think I have seen this on deeper skin, other folks trying it out, and it looked It looks so good on them, I think. Again, I think it's a preference thing. If you don't like light, cool tones mixing with warm skin tones, might not be for you. Kind of like Pepto-Bismol pink, you know, everybody was doing like so much pink, like pink blush was like all the rage, and some loved it and some hated it. So I think it's the same thing. I think it's preference sometimes. But yeah, I will say that I think that Huda Beauty is really good at getting her inclusive shades right. But I think that's what it is that this purple is deeper. It's a deeper color. So it's like, I think it is going to show up better and be more geared towards deeper skin and everybody. Like, I think that a pale person will have this show up very well. Whereas this one, I think it just really only works on the pale skin girls. Okay, now let's try out the lip gloss. And so this is the Ube, ooh, baby is what they're calling it. And this one's new also. And I already know I love her faux filler glosses. Her faux filler glosses are so awesome. I love how they just have that like sloppy, glossy finish to them. Now, I don't think I have the right eyeshadow on for all this purple, but sorry, it was what I was already wearing today, and I just wanted to film, so it might not go well. I need to add in some like pink on the eyes too, I think. Let's grab a lip liner real quick. I'm just throwing on this Lucky Chick that I got in Ipsy. And let's try out the gloss. Love her glosses, but this one especially is so cool. I'll do it on one side in case I want to compare it to like the Dior Lavendar lip oil. Do I have? Or I have a couple of lip products from Dior too in the pink lilac line. I might want to compare it to that. There it is so far. Yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful light pink almost. I'm going to compare it to Dior. So this is the Dior, it's their pink lilac gloss. Let's see. Yeah, Dior's is a little more lilac. And Huda's is just slightly more pink, I think. Now, I feel like Huda's are more plumping. Look at that. Can y'all tell that difference? The Huda side is just like plumper looking. Like this side looks thinner, doesn't it? Wow. So this is like completely my Huda side. And this is my other test side. So now I'm just going to pop on a little finishing powder real quick over everything. And we'll see how it looks. Again, my eyes do not go with this. Yeah, that's just throwing me off because it's not going with the rest of my makeup. Now, I will say coincidentally that I wore Huda Beauty on my eyes today. This is from the Creamy palette. Fairly recently, I got this. And I do like it, but I feel like it comes off a little blue, you know? Okay, so basically here is our finished product of one side of the face, kind of testing a lot with Huda, and the other side of the face, other things. And I don't know, which side do you prefer? I definitely prefer the Huda side on my lips. I kind of prefer the YSL side on the cheeks, like the color. I just love how it's, I don't know, it blended into the skin. It looks really beautiful, I think. But this one's the one that's showing up. This one isn't showing up that much. The purple powder, what do we think about that? Does it look brighter over here than on this side? I don't know, guys. Like, it's kind of a preference thing, I think. I feel like, honestly, it might be brighter on this side. Now, this side, it's like you're getting that idea of a brightener, but here's what I kind of think. I kind of think she needs to come out in different colors of the purple. I do. I think like she has done with the peach and the pink, she has all different like levels of how deep those go. I think she needs to do the same thing with the purple, because for me, I almost think that I want a lighter purple here if I want to brighten me and my skin. So I think this is going to be amazing for some deeper skin tone, but I don't know if it's going to apply for us lighter colored girls now. I don't know. But knowing Huda Beauty, I have a feeling she might come out with something like that at some point. Different levels of it. Let me know what you think, which side you like better. Do you think that the purple was better or no? And it may be the blush partly that is throwing me off. Okay, now here's what I did, guys, really quickly. I actually finished over on this side too, because I have a different blush on this side, and look at the difference. And I'm going to kind of put wherever I had concealer, and that is really brightening because I don't have that like a little bit deeper blush over here. So do you guys see, can you see that it's like actually brightening here, do you think? I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you like it before I used the purple powder or after? I really think it's maybe my blush is a little bit more geared towards me over on this side. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then I'm going to apply my Huda on this side too. And just get those big ol' lips, big ol' sloppy lips all the way around now. And that gives you a good feel too. So yeah, I think I absolutely love, love, love this lip gloss. And now that I see my powder over here without the blush, I actually really like that a lot. It is very brightening, canceling out. I think it's the blush. I think the blush is not as flattering on me as I had hoped, but everything else is amazing. I still really like it though. I was very drawn to it. I had to have the whole line, you know? But yeah, I think I like this side better because it's not the deep blush, but I really think that deep blush is going to work on a lot of deeper skin tones. But yeah, so that wraps it up, guys. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know if you are feeling the purple or not, but I will tell you that applying purple on my clients has been like my #1 staple. It really brightens. It really helps, especially with that mature skin. Yeah, so highly recommend you build some purple into your life if you've got some of those same problems as me and my mature skin clients. And if you want to see more reviews like this in the future, make sure to stick around. I absolutely love Huda Beauty products, so I will definitely be bringing more. And I do a lot of beauty boxes as well. We do the try-ons, the spoilers, the unboxings, the reviews on a lot of the popular ones here. And I really try to, in 2025, prioritize cruelty-free, conscious beauty. So I hope to see more of you in the future. Make sure you pop that subscribe and turn the notification bells to on so you don't miss more, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.